YouTube, what's happening? It is Thursday, October 17th, and we are moving on to the Thursday, Friday games. We can see what's happening in the 5 games we had. Some of them were not. I mean, let's be honest, most of these games weren't good. That La Tech, New Mexico State double overtime, I mean, that was good, but the rest of them, just weekday snooze fest. Other sports were worth watching, basically. So, but we are going to talk about Thursday, Friday, where we have much better matchups. We got BC, Virginia Tech tonight, along with Georgia State, Marshall. We got some great ones tomorrow. Oregon at Purdue, BYU's hosting Okie State, Fresno, Nevada, Florida State, Duke. The games are stepping up. I like it for these 2 days. So we'll talk about these 6 games. Saturday, there's a whole bunch of games, but that'll be its own video coming out tomorrow. You'll see that. But today is just we're going to focus on Thursday, Friday, and that's it. So we'll go ahead and jump into those first games right now. All right, first game on the docket, we got Georgia State and Marshall. Marshall's a 9-point favorite. Total's 51.5. You can see what they've done. Georgia State lost to Old Dominion. Marshall lost to Georgia Southern. And the first thing that stands out is Georgia State can throw the ball. Marshall's a 9-point favorite, but they can throw the ball, and they kind of struggle to stop the pass. So, already seeing something good. But then I look over here. Marshall's really good at running the ball, and then they are not good at stopping the run. So the two strengths of the offenses should have the capability to exploit the defensive things that are going to stop them. So, Georgia State doesn't run the ball well at all, and they don't stop the run, so they're not going to do much there. They don't throw the ball, and they don't stop the pass very well. So I'm already leaning the over. I think both these, their passing and their running, should be able to take advantage of the defense. So Marshall's on a bye next week, so no look ahead. Georgia State has App State, not a look ahead either. So we have those. Let's pop over and look and see who they have played so far. So we want Georgia State, we want Marshall. Let's open them up and look at their schedules real quick before we make a decision on this game, just to see exactly who they have played. Old Dominion, Georgia Southern, Vandy. I mean, the powerhouse that is the Commodores. Come on, team of the year, are they not? Chattanooga and Georgia Tech. Marshall. Let's see what they've done. Georgia Southern, they lost by 1. App State, competitive. It was a lot of points. And you can see the other games. So, all right. So for me, I think the thing I'm going to focus on is, I like the fact that both their strengths on offense they're going to struggle stopping them. So I'm going to take this over 51.5 in this one, and then we'll move on to that next game. All right, in the other Thursday night game, we have Boston College and Virginia Tech. Both teams are off buys, apparently. We can see, let's go ahead and just pop to their schedules now. Let's open them up and see what they did before the bye. That way we know. Boston College, their schedule. Let's see, they lost to Virginia on the 5th. West Kentucky, they won by 1. Michigan State by 4 in the Red Bandana game. We can see all that there. Missouri by 6. Missouri kind of fraudulent, if we are being for real here. Let's look at Virginia Tech and see what they have done. Open it up. They beat Stanford at Stanford. I had Stanford covering because the numbers were there, and Virginia Tech said, nope, we're going to whoop their ass. So, all right. So they see what they've done. They lost to Rutgers and Miami, and the powerhouse that is Vandy. I'm telling you, that Vandy powerhouse, let me tell you. Let's pop back over here. Okay, we've seen what we've seen over there. Boston College has Louisville next week. Virginia Tech has Georgia Tech, so no look aheads. First thing I see is both teams cannot throw the ball very well. And both teams are mid when it comes to running the ball. Virginia Tech's a little bit better. Third down percent offense are both pretty good at converting third downs. Now, defense is where I care. What matters the most? Well, Boston College can stop the run. That's the one thing Virginia Tech's actually good at. That doesn't make any sense. And you're good at stopping the pass, but they don't pass the ball. They kind of run the ball, but you can't stop the run. So why is Virginia Tech 7.5-point favorite at home? I don't get it. So to me, this is just leaning Boston College, and I'm getting 7 and a hook. Yeah, give me that. Give me Boston College. I think the defense for BC should be able to do good, and I think that BC will be able to run on Virginia Tech while Virginia Tech struggles to run on BC. So BC plus 7.5 next game. All right, moving on to Friday games. We have Florida State and Duke. Florida State 1-5, Duke 5-1. Duke's only a 3-point favorite at home. They're both off of buys. Let's look at their schedules and see what the hell's been happening. So Florida State's last game was against Clemson. They actually, that was kind of competitive until the very end. That was closer than the score was. I thought Clemson was going to score like 40 points, and they did decent. So, hey, good for them. SMU whooped their ass up, let's be honest. So, and their win was against Cal, where they almost lost that. And then we pop over to Duke. Duke's won every game except the last game against Georgia Tech because somehow they lost the game at Georgia Tech on the road. So, whatever. Let's pop back to the numbers. That's what we care about. A lot of red, Florida State. That's why you're 1-5. Duke is good at passing. They're 60th. They're not good at running. They're good at passing. And what's the one thing Florida State's defense is good at? Stopping the pass. They're kind of pushing right here. Duke's defense is nasty, though. You cannot throw on Duke's defense. You're top 10 in the nation, 79th in running. Well, Florida State is the worst rushing team in the country. If I gave you 50 guesses, would you have ever guessed Florida State was the worst rushing team? I wouldn't have, but there you go. So, yeah, that's I look at these numbers. It's at Duke. It's off of both teams are off of buys. Duke's 5-1, Florida State's 1-5. Why the hell is this number 3? Why is it -3 Duke and not -15 Duke? I don't know. The Duke defense should shut Florida State down. I'm sometimes the numbers don't make no sense at all. And it's like, what? Why is the number this? What does Vegas know? They know something. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna find out because I'm taking Duke -3 next game. All right, next up we got Oregon and Purdue on a Friday. Let's look at their schedules first before we do anything. So we'll start with the Ducks, and we can see obviously they had that massive win against Ohio State at home last week. Great game, amazing finish. Obviously, this is the first thing I question. The first thing that pops on mind is a la letdown spot, a la Alabama, Georgia. That's the first thing that comes to mind because is Oregon going to fall flat? Because they're going to Purdue on a Friday night. And what happens at Purdue on Friday nights? I know Purdue is absolute dog shit right now, but what happens historically to high-ranked Big Ten teams in Purdue on Friday nights? They lose. They don't just not cover. They lose outright. Ask Ohio State. It happens. So I'm a little leery of this. So let's look at Purdue's schedule. They are terrible. When I said they're dog shit, that's being not. I'm not trying to offend dog shit because that's how. Look at these numbers. They lost in overtime, 52-6, 2018. I mean, Wisconsin beat their ass. Somehow they hung with Illinois. Crazy ending, crazy game all around. Just come back crazy. So maybe this was, even though they lost, maybe this was a spark they needed. Maybe this is what they needed because now they get Oregon at home. You know the place is going to be hype. Oregon just beat Ohio State coming to town. I mean, I'd be hype. I'm not even a student there. I'm hype. So because Friday night and they go crazy on Friday, especially in October. Ooh, I forgot it's October too. Ooh, spooky season activated. So let's look at the numbers. They might not mean a damn thing, but let me show you. Oregon can pass the ball really well. Purdue cannot stop the pass. Yep, makes sense. Oregon's defense is good. Look at all these great numbers for Oregon. Look at these terrible numbers for Purdue. This game should be 52-0. Should be. But this right here gives me hope and the history that Purdue at Friday night at home, Oregon off of the letdown win because you won, but there's a massive letdown spot. It sounds like madness. This also feels like a line that Vegas, the odds makers, are wanting you to say, like, come on, come take some Oregon on the road after the win. It's only 27.5. You get you a good number. I'm going to take the other way. I'm going to see, can I get 28.5? Let me look at the Oregon game. It is at 20. It's already at 28.5 on some books. So yeah, it's madness. I know. I'm not sick. I'm just wearing a hoodie because it's chilly in Florida. It was 55 this morning. What? That is madness. Anyways, I am going to take the Purdue plus 28.5 at home on a Friday night against a top-ranked Big Ten team. Next. All right, next up, Oklahoma State, BYU. BYU 6-0, Oklahoma State 3-3. Let's look at their schedules. Okie, they went 3-0, then they lost 3. Lost to Utah, K-State, and West Virginia. And West Virginia game was not even, I mean, hell, the last 2 games haven't been close. BYU is just still kicking everyone's ass. I mean, outside of SMU, it's been Arizona. They kicked their ass. Baylor, it's a 6-point win, but still. K-State kicked their ass. They've been on fire. So let's pop back and look at the numbers. Let's see what we got. Oklahoma State has Baylor next week. BYU has UCF, so neither one has a look ahead. They're ranked. There shouldn't be look aheads anyways. So the first thing I see is Oklahoma State's defense is terrible. They can't stop the run. They're 131 out of 134. Well, they're 85th, so it's not a big deal. Oklahoma State's 16th in passing. They're off a bye. Okay. They're 31st in stopping the pass. So that's a slight advantage Oklahoma State, but I don't think it's going to matter much because if you can't run the ball, you can't throw the ball well. So 125 versus 45, good luck running the ball on BYU. It ain't going to happen. 50th in passing, 110. That's a 60 spot difference. That ain't good. 85 to 131. That's a 50 spot difference. BYU by 9 at home, and you got elevation or altitude, whatever you want to call it. And they're on fire. They got the mojo. Everything's working for them. Oklahoma State has the opposite. They have none. I mean, they're on the road. It's Friday. I like home teams on weekdays. So give me, yeah, we're gonna take home. We're gonna take BYU at home. We're gonna be chalky in this one. I don't care. BYU chalk has been working out great. So we're gonna take BYU -9. Is it still 9 or did it go up? It's 9.5 now. So I'll play fair. I'll take the 9.5. So we'll take BYU 9.5 because that's probably what you'll get by the time you see this. I mean, these are live numbers. This is the live number from ESPN, but Caesars and FanDuel are both showing 9.5, so we'll take that. So we'll do that 9.5 for this one next. What a slate for Friday! I'm ready for tomorrow to get here so I can watch these games. That's exciting. Now we have the last game, which it's the best. Fresno State, Nevada, 3-3 versus 3-4. Let's look at their schedules. We can see they lost to UNLV by a lot, and then Wazoo got them. And then Nevada they've already played 7 games. Like, do you ever take a day off? Like, I swear. Like, come on, guys, take a break. They beat Troy, which isn't hard to do. They beat an FCS team in Oregon. They beat Oregon State, which, okay, you did something. All right, let's go to your numbers. Let's see what you got. First thing I see is 32 passing versus 108 pass defense. Fresno State. Ching, you can't throw, but you can stop a throw. You're really good at running. You're average at stopping the run. So that's points to Nevada. So far they're canceling out. Third and third down percentage. That is damn impressive for Nevada. In the whole country, the third best team in the country at converting third downs on offense. Funny thing is they're 13th in the country in stopping third down. So this game's hard. It's Fresno by 3 on the road. I don't like this game at all. If anything, 99th and third down makes me lean Nevada. It's at home. Do I take Nevada? I think I might, but then this 32 and 108 scares me, so I don't have a strong lean at all in this one at all. I have a very weak lean towards Nevada, but I'm going to pass on this one, call it a night, and focus on Saturday. And then we'll just end it right there. So I appreciate you watching. Drop a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you're going to play. Again, I don't do props on college because a lot of states ban props. So we're just not going to focus on those like we haven't. But if you're playing props, hey, drop them in the comments because somebody else might be able to and they can do it. So other than that, appreciate being here. Friday, we'll have the main video up for all the Saturday games and we'll see you then. Peace.